Well, good morning. I am still thinking about what I'm going to say, but I guess, I started Wake Up Sydney about 18 months ago, and Wake Up Sydney is really set up to inspire more kindness into the world. And you might kind of wonder, what is it about kindness that you kind of start an organisation around? And yet I feel like kindness is probably the planet's greatest need at the moment. Learning how to be kind towards ourselves and towards each other and towards the natural earth. And this whole, I guess the whole thing started for me about 5 years ago when I was presenting in a boardroom. I was in a marketing role and I was presenting to, 50, 100 people or whatever. And I actually had this experience in my body of actually wanting to throw up in the boardroom. Not, in a sense of not doing what I really wanted to be doing in my life, not fulfilling like a deeper sense of calling about what it was that I was meant to be doing. And so I quit that role as in a marketing kind of corporate role and saw an ad in the paper to be a male nanny. And so I thought I'd do that for a couple of months. And I began looking after these two 6-year-old boys. And in that time, I guess my whole life kind of reorientated in the sense that all the things that were previously really important to me became less important, and a whole bunch of things that were kind of pushed to the background became important to me. So things like, I had time to go for swims and walks, and also to read and I guess become interested in a whole bunch of things that I never had time to learn about before. And one of those themes was the theme of kindness. When I looked across science or wisdom traditions or great literature, I saw this theme coming out again and again and again. So what I decided to do was to design, and I think each of you have one of these in your packs if you've got one of the bags. Sorry?
On the way out.
They're on the way out, okay. So you'll each get one of these. So we created these kindness cards, and what they do is we send them out for free, and they encourage people to do anonymous acts of kindness. So the way it would work is that you might have a colleague at work, or you might have a friend or someone you care about, but you can do something anonymous for them. So it's really critical that they don't find out who you are. So you might buy some chocolates for someone. You would leave one of these cards on the chocolates or the flowers or whatever it is you'd like to do for someone, and it indicates to them that someone has done something anonymous for them and encourages them to do the same thing. So it has like a pay it forward kind of notion to it. And interestingly, since starting this, as Omar mentioned, we've sent out about 30,000 of these through the post, and we continue to get just amazing stories of people doing very small things and yet really impacting other people's lives. And I guess for me, the notion of doing small things and around the theme of love, it was Mother Teresa who, when someone asked her, what can we do to kind of save the world? And she said, you can only do small things with great love. And I guess the kindness cards are a reminder that that's really all we can do in our busy lives, And yet those small things can make such a huge difference. When I first started this project, I don't know if I've got slides. Yeah, I've got some slides. I went out and interviewed a whole bunch of change leaders, I guess people who are in leading sustainability, social change, the arts, a whole bunch of people, amazing people. And when we interviewed them, we got to a point where I'd ask them, can you share an experience where someone has been kind to you? And this is what happened 9 times out of 10. People would say, well, I can't really think of something right now. And so I'd ask them, can we just sit here for a while and just wait for an experience to come to your mind? And so we'd sit there, and 9 times out of 10, this is what they'd say. They'd say, well, I can think of a story, but it's probably not worth putting on film. And I'd say, well, that's okay, maybe you can just share it anyway. And they would then share a story that was small. It was a tiny event that had happened in their life. And yet it had had this enormous impact in kind of fueling them in what they do today. So it could be someone who left kind of groceries on their door, or someone who called them during a very difficult period in their life, and it made this significant difference. So it kind of taught me that here are these people doing these amazing things, And yet, really, when you ask them what touched their life, what really moves them, there were these small things that occurred. So Wake Up Sydney, a big part of it is about just inspiring us to put a huge value on small things, to not overlook them, you know, because it's kind of under our noses every day. And we could create a whole different culture if our lives became about, how could I make someone else's day today? You know, rather than going out and thinking, you know, what is it for me? It's about, what if I dedicated my whole life and my days to making other people happy? And not by doing huge things, you know? It's all about small things. It might be an email that you actually write something where you really acknowledge someone or thank someone for doing what they do. The other thing that we do is we put on live events. So we put on live events. So we did this one at the town hall for about 1,000 people. And we try and inspire people to be more kind. And I think my time is up. And so I just want to thank you for the time and enjoy the cards, you know, use them and have a good time. It's all about, it's a playful exercise, it's nothing really serious, but just as a reminder for really what's important in our lives. So thank you.